Welcome back to another episode here on the Heart Hustle podcast. And he's always my favorite because when we got two guests for the price of one, let's talk about it. Daryl, how are you? You want to go ahead first and introduce yourself and then introduce your colleague as well?
Sure, absolutely. Good to see you. My name is Adair Robinson, and I proudly serve as the Chief Executive Officer with Communities and Schools of Ohio.
And then you have, don't be rude to Daryl. Come on.
I'm going to turn it over to Miss Nay.
Hi,
Mrs. Nay, how are you? What's your role?
I am a site coordinator here in Dayton, Ohio at Pathway School of Discovery.
I
So,
love it. I'll tell you what, I didn't meet you, I don't think on Discovery. I just realized that it was not you. I think it was Brooklyn that I met,
Brooklyn,
yes,
yes.
so she's our,
right? So the whole time, Adair, while we were talking, I'm thinking that I'm still speaking to Brooklyn, even though I realize the name is different. I speak to so many different people, but I love how we just connected and we just
Yeah.
vibed. And I say that because Adaro and Brooklyn said we need to have a site coordinator, and they had the right one in mind. And I see why they chose you.
yes, I love Brooklyn and I love Adair. Um, I appreciate them picking me. When they texted me, they was like, it's last minute, we know. I was like, I'll do it. I'm actually in my school called the chaos coordinator.
So I ask you, what is the why? Because I put Adaro and Brooklyn in that seat. Sometimes we don't realize that the work that we do is not about a paycheck. It's about passion and purpose. And Adaro heard me say that because we have this why usually that fuels us to do this work. What is the why?
My why is real simple. I wish I had a me when I was growing up. So if I had a me when I was a second grader, who mom died while they were at school, and then dad picked them up from school, and I walked into the office thinking I got an early dismissal. My mom and my dad about to pick me up. I'm leaving early from school, and my dad comes out the principal's office and he's crying. And then I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, I'm thinking we about to leave early from school, and then I'm like, what's going on? And then my 3-year-old sister is there and she's looking lost. And then my two older sisters who were 13 and 15 are there. And then my principal just hugs me and was like, you're going to be okay. And then my dad leaves and I'm like, Dad, what is going on? And then he was like, just didn't say anything. And then we pull up at the hospital and I realized my mom was gone. At that moment, life for me changed. And site coordinators do so much. And if I had a me at that time, things probably would have went different for me growing up.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So that's why that story resonated. Before we even went live, we were kind of I was just sharing a little bit. I see why that resonated even more now as we kind of go back to it. How old were you again? You mentioned that?
I was in the second grade.
Wow. And those are, I love the why. And those are the reasons that we always show up. Daryl, you, myself, is that we have a story, right? We've experienced something in our lives, and we're fortunate to see the other side. A lot of people, I always say statistically, probably don't make it as far as we have with some of the trauma and things that we've endured in our lives. But it's resources, it's leaders, it's people that look like us that continue to share their stories that allow us to feel like, okay, I'm not in this alone. So I definitely, kudos to you for being so strong, for continuing to just use your voice and allow others to know that they're not alone in this world. Daryl, man, like this is your leadership skills, man. Like, how do you make this happen? What are you thinking about when you hire people like Nay? I need to make sure I'm hiring people like Nay. So I just need to know. Leaders need to know.
Well, I think, this is my 31st. Talking about my past, it's my 31st year in nonprofit and getting a chance to do a lot of different things with programs related to the young people in schools and youth development. And you have to have folks that are dedicated to young people and families and the schools in which they work. And I had a chance to go out and visit Miss Nader school. I drove out to Dayton and spent, a couple of hours with her, and to see how the students react to her just walking down the hall. I don't think we had time to sit down and just talk about her work because there was another student coming in, or a teacher needed this, or the principal, hey, Miss Nate, could you do this? And to see this is why it's important for these things to be a must have in schools, because you see all of the resources that schools may not have access to, and to have that person in there that cares, that could be walking down the hall. She could be ready to go meet with the principal. Oh, I got to stop and talk with this student. This student's having an issue. Oh, that teacher needs help. Or I have a group over here, or a student stops to give Miss Nay a hug. I'm like, how many students do you know? I'm like, they just all like gravitate. And it's different than a teacher student relationship. It's a different type of dynamic. And Miss Nay has all this rapport. And every time I'm walking down the hall, she's introducing me like, oh, you can't, we got to keep Miss Nay. We got to keep Miss Nay. The principal, hey, you got to keep Miss Nay. Whatever you have to do, we'll make it happen. We got to keep our site coordinators. And that sort of sentiment happens at every school that I get a chance to visit. I was in Cleveland last week, and I was there for about 2.5 hours. And the whole time, students are coming in the room. Students are this, students are asking for this, or students need, hey, once a young woman walked in, I'm having a challenge right now. Can I just come in here and just talk or just sit? They didn't even care that I was in the room. They didn't know me from Adam. And I think having those types of people who are dedicated to that work and who are willing to take a minute when a student needs something, that's a key trait to have and quality that you want in this type of role.
I love it, man. And talk about the organization. Like, what resources do you guys provide in the schools? And is this only in Ohio? I know we talk about community schools in Ohio. Maybe just kind of speak to the brand itself.
Sure. So I'll share a little bit about the organization, and Ms. Nake, you can share more about kind of the resources you bring to your role. Communities and Schools, or CIS, we're part of a national network. So we have affiliates across the country in a number of states. I think the home office is on the East Coast in Virginia, DC area. CIS of Ohio has been around since 1993. The organization itself has been around since the late 70s, like 77, 78. So we've been around since 1993, and we have evolved from a CIS of Central Ohio to CIS of Ohio with the influx of some resources from our national office and some other funders. We were able to expand out of just the Central Ohio, Franklin County area to now partnering with 46 schools across 6 cities in Ohio. So Cincinnati, Dayton, where Miss Nay is, here in Columbus, Ohio, Toledo, Youngstown, and in the Cleveland area. And it's a mix of public schools and charter schools. So Miss Nay is at a charter, but we also partner with some of the public schools in several of those cities, K through 12.
Love it. Don't disconnect on me when I say this, but you guys are probably a little upset that y'all got swept like that by New York, right? Like it was kind of, you know.
How you going to hurt me about my Cavaliers? I'm a Spurs fan and I'm a Cavaliers fan. So
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
had two
Spurs still
teams
got a
in
chance.
that.
They still got a chance.
But for them to get swept like that, and it's been a while since the Knicks have done anything special, so I'm gonna give them credit on that.
My
I
husband
know,
was
I know.
upset about that game, okay?
I was upset the way they went out.
I bet, I
Yeah,
bet. But you know what? It is like there's a story to be told, right? Like especially if we get the New York Knicks and Spurs, right? 1999, that's what happened, and
yeah,
Spurs took it. Like
yeah.
we could kind of rewrite history right now.
That's my team, though. Yeah, I've been a Spurs fan since I was a teenager, so long time
Oh
ago.
man, that's what's cool. Yeah, I had a kind of when you said Cleveland, it just I had to be that guy. I almost got you a little earlier as well, Daryl. When you said 31 years, I almost hit you with that Kevin Hart, like damn. But I ain't want to. I ain't
Oh,
want to hit
we
you like that, Daryl. I ain't want to do that to you, brother. I ain't want to do it. No, I'm just joking. But
wow.
Nick, go ahead. Talk about some of the resources. I'll leave Daryl alone right now.
All right, he's getting on
Please
me.
leave my
Okay,
chief
give me
officer
the business.
alone because we love Odero real bad.
He seemed like a good leader. That's why I know I get with him.
He
I
is a
love
good
it.
leader. He's not uptight, and he can take my craziness because I say it all the time. I'm not a textbook site coordinator. They call me the chaos coordinator. I think that is what I am at a charter school, but I am very much so me. So that is the difference. They call me the difference maker. I am just me. I said it earlier, my why. So I'm natural. I just come in every day. Just trying to be better than I was the day before and giving those resources. Like I said, we partner. So we have one that if there's a need for the family, that's what makes my role so good. If I don't have it right off the hand, I know our partners do and I'll find it. So I run a pantry. I have fed this year over 1,000 families.
Wow.
We have partnered with Kroger's. When I come in, I have spent over $40,000. I give them full meals. I was able to buy a refrigerator, a deep freezer. So the food insecurity is a thing. We pack the meals up. They have full breakfast meals, everything. The donations from Operation Warm, I make sure that the kids have coats, everything. So if there's a need that the kids or the family need, they usually come to me. They like, what can we do for this? And then I make it happen. Um, and the big thing about me is they know if I can't figure it out, the good thing about CIS is we have a partner somewhere, and somewhere in that email of people, somebody gonna figure it out. Some director has some type of connection, and they're not gonna let the kids go without. A kid needed uniforms. The parent is in poverty, lost their job. Everybody know the prices is high. It was only a week left of school, but he didn't have a pants. And we had big wigs coming to view our school to look at new layouts for another area. And my boss emailed Alice kids, and they sent a gift card the very next day for us to go get in uniform pants, but only a week left of school. So I love being the resource lady, the chaos coordinator, all of the things above.
You're like, I would say you're like that bridge connector, right? Like anybody comes to you, you're about to
Yes.
connect that bridge to whatever that
Yeah.
resource is.
And what
I am the bridge between the school and the families. I'm usually the referee a lot. I come in the office all the time, and just like I usually can calm a parent down, and they're like, let me talk to Miss Nay. They set my business cards in the office. It is very easy. My caseload has exploded. Like I literally have already started taking ROIs for next year, for the next school year already, because they are coming in like they're coming in hot. I'm like, okay,
Love it. I love it.
let's
and
get the
one of the
need.
things and one of the things that Ms. Nay's talking about as she's talking about the difference, no, that part of the services are what we call integrated student supports, or I'll
Mm,
refer to as ISS. So think of it as three tiers or like an inverted triangle of whole school supports, and then funneling down to, more individualized supports, and then the case management piece that she's talking about. And within that ISS model, what's really unique about it is that not too many organizations do it at the fidelity that the site coordinators, can do it. But it all not only includes the basic needs piece that she's talking about, you have the academics. She didn't even talk about how she works with the academics, the attendance initiatives that are really key here in Ohio. It's a really big deal. Why students may or may not be coming to school, and some of the underlying reasons, whether it be clothing, poverty, lost job, got evicted from home, a car broke down, transportation. And then there's mental health pieces that come up. Like I said, that young lady walked into the CIS room the other day. She was having a problem. She needed to talk to somebody. Didn't want to talk to the counselor. She wanted to talk to the CIS coordinator.
Uh-huh.
You think about the food pieces, all the other resources that the school may or may not have the capacity to do. It's all part of that, integrated student support model, which then they capture all of the data. And Ms. Day didn't even talk about all the data that we asked them to capture in terms of how they facilitate that work so that we can show the impact. And she's probably going to like that. But it's important for us to show the impact of the work, because we just can't go in there and say we're doing these things. We have to show our partners, whether they're schools, our funders, other folks that we want to talk about this work with, to show this as, like I said earlier, this is a must have in the school, not a maybe we need it, nice to have. It's a necessity, in my opinion.
no, it's actually pretty cool. I tell you a couple of different stories that just why Mrs. Tay works, right? It's because she meets them at where they're at. She's not speaking at them, she's speaking with them. And just based off some of these stories, I can realize that she just really speaks with these kids. She's not being a lot of the times, and I've seen this recently. I was at a school where the teacher was so quick to yell at them. Like, it wasn't even her students. She see him in the hallway, and she was already so quick to bark. Instead of really having a conversation, that person automatically starts to throw up walls. They feel like, why is she coming at me? You don't know what those kids are going through at that moment, right? So that conversation, but also the way that we just show up. I go to the high school. I think I've mentioned Adair to you, but Mrs. Nay, I am the president of my old high school's foundation. Didn't even know the school had a foundation. It's 30 years old, and I barely graduated from the school, so it's pretty cool to just kind of be in the seat. I would say very humbling.
Yeah.
But I go in and I always dress as myself because as a leader, I want to show authentic me. I'm not going to sit here put on a suit and tie. This is how I show up, like it or not. So not to throw the principal under the bus, but a lot of the times he's in a nice suit and tie, and he looks at me like, "Yo, you want a better shirt? That's more like formal." And I just jokingly laugh. I'm like, "No, because I think that I'm more approachable to by the kids than you are." The kids are
Mhm.
going to come and speak to me, right? Because they see authentic us. They realize we're not just trying to be somebody. That this is who that person is, and kids can read that really quick. So that's one of the things I wanted to share. And two was sometimes these kids don't even know what they're going through in schools, right? Like I was just listening to a story, and she says, it was as a woman, she's like, we didn't grow up with money, but I didn't even know that, that I was getting free lunch and that was a problem, or that was government assistance. And I am that kid we talked about Medicaid and having free lunch. I didn't know that that was a considered a poor or disadvantage. Listen, I was enjoying that free breakfast, that free lunch, and it is what it is. But a lot of the times, you are right. The kids are not eating at home, right? This is the only meal they can have. They don't have a whole bunch of changes of clothes. I remember every year was like the 5 for 20 shirts at Foot Action or Foot Lockers. I know you guys remember what I'm talking about. Got the black
Yeah.
tees, the white tees, the red tees, and that was my school outfit for the year. And how to be okay with that. While some of the kids were, so Mrs. Nay's in a very like great space to be at. I feel like that's where kids don't feel seen or heard, and sometimes that is that gap. We don't see them for who they truly are. We're trying to see them for that moment of them acting out, and it's like, no, they're much more than that. Like if we really get to talk to that person, who they can become because we plant a seed or even water that seed, right? Fertilize the future is what I like to say.
Mhm.
Mrs. Nay, you out here fertilizing, huh?
Try even like so I'm working to like on this meeting, but I try to be, I guess they call me old. I didn't know I was old. So my end of the school newsletter, I had to play with the AI. So I sent this home and they was like, who taught you how to use AI?
I
But this is
love it.
like what I do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
And it's
Uh,
like a
Talk
lot
about
of,
AI though.
yeah, I was like, I had to just, you have to meet them where they are. And a lot, like what Adair said, I love my team here at the school because the school social worker, we have like our group chats during the school year. And she was like, hey, I got this kid. They do not want to talk to me. They want to talk to you. They're not even on my caseload. But she was like, I can't get through to them, but you will. I always tell them they're not in trouble with me. Like, and I celebrate them, the little wins, like starting my
Mhm.
attendance club. We just did a big Scene 75 trip. Like, one of my kids, she grew like for her test scores. Like we needed her to grow by 30 and she grew by 40, and that was me organizing that tier 2 groups. Like we need a study group, like we need to focus on your ELA, your math is booming. Okay, that we let's celebrate that, but we need your scores going into middle school to be this. CIS does that. Like the teachers does great things, but they don't have the time to do all this extra stuff. Especially for us, we're a school of choice, we have 32 kids in each class. And then I love my job because it gives me that time to build with them. And then they know they're not in trouble with me. So, but I have expectations. So they're like, okay, I do want to talk to her. I do want to see her because if I'm in a bad space, I can say this and she's going to help me and she's going to help me figure it out. And then I can come in here and take a break. Like I got crash pads in my office. I got you do not know how I just have to keep a drawer of snacks because sometimes a kid is having a bad day because they just need a snack. I got to keep Nutri-Grain bars, Sour Patches, and water because they go crazy. And I would just be like, do you need a snack? Actually, I do. Okay, go stop screaming. Like, I love it. Every day is not, I'm telling you, I have been going through a time and they wouldn't even know because I come in here and I leave it all at the door. I told them, y'all don't even know y'all my coping skill coming in here with y'all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For
But
real. I love it. I love what you guys are doing as a resource. I think there's when it comes to funding, how is it being funded? Is it just philanthropist work? Is it government funding? Like to be able to keep some of these resources in these schools, I can imagine is not free.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
that's a great question. So, as Ms. Nate's talking about her work, it it is a true partnership. So the way our funding model is, we partner with each school or each school district that we have site coordinators in, and we negotiate a cost that where they pay a portion, and then we fundraise a portion as well. So about 50% of our total funding comes in partnership with all of the schools that we work with, and then we have a process for fundraising, private philanthropy, public, city, county, state, and individual giving as well. So that allows for a blended model, so that not the onus of bringing in all the resources isn't on one entity or one partner, right? So that we can have an opportunity for the resources to be beneficial to everyone, the site coordinators in partnership with the school, as opposed to just a vendor coming in and doing a program. That's one way to look at it. But I think of it more as a partnership where site coordinator is on the same team with the social worker, with the school counselor, with another support person. And they're all looking at what they can provide for the students, and so it's on me, myself and others to raise those dollars, so that we can have a holistic program. Yep.
And with all these resources that you guys are providing during the school year, is it also things that you guys do after hours as well? Do you guys do things during the summer for those that may be listening?
Yes.
Not so much during the summer. Our program primarily runs, or our work primarily runs the school year, from August until June, and then August we gear back up for the next year.
I got it.
But I
Mrs.
am
Nate, you were gonna
working.
say something?
Yeah, because I am working. So I am in the school building right now. I'm always working. Daryl
Love
didn't
it. Love
hear
it. Getting
that.
ready. Getting ready.
Daryl didn't hear that.
Guys,
I am.
I know.
Go ahead.
When Miss Nate's connection, is your connection going out? Are you okay over there?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead, Mrs. Nate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he said like we're off on July to kinda because this can be a trying time, but we do like I am at summer school. Like we start summer school next week. We we do like for me right now I'm at the school building now. Our last day was Friday. But I'm wrapping up all the data from my school year, getting everything put in. I do check on my kids throughout summer school. I do have some kids that are attending summer school. So for the month of June, I'm going to be checking in with them. I sent all my newsletter home for the end of the year. I am the head coach for the girls basketball team. So I did have some stuff to wrap up for that too. So I
Well,
also
you
did.
busy, busy. That's what it is. You
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you different breed. You for real, for real. You in it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
guys, I know coming up here on time. Where can people find more information on this? Is there a website? Are you guys on social so people can kind of see the work that is being done in the community?
Absolutely. Our website is www.ciskids.org. You can go there to look at all of our work. You can look at videos. You can look at some of our data. You can also go on Facebook, Communities and Schools of Ohio. We're also on Instagram, and yeah, and we also do a newsletter. So you can sign up for our newsletter to learn more about our work monthly. And we're on LinkedIn as well. A lot of stuff on LinkedIn.
You go. Well, guys, I appreciate the both of you guys for what you guys do. The work of just passion and purpose. Definitely can tell by you guys the 31 years that Adair has put in, the countless nights, summers, right, when you don't need to, that Mrs. Nay has put in, all because she truly loves and she just wants to be, as you mentioned a little earlier, be for someone else what you wish you had. So appreciate the time, the resources, the work that you guys doing. Continue to make sure that you guys follow these individuals, whether it's on LinkedIn or via their socials and URL. Daryl, thank you. Mrs. Nay, thank you. I'm Efrain.
thank
I'll
you.
catch you guys on the next episode. Latest.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.